Hey, spiritual superstars. How are you today? I'm Nicole, and today I'm going to discuss the biggest way to manifest that which you so desire, your hopes, your wishes, and it is the principle of transmutation. And a lot of people just don't know about it. I don't think that they're aware of it, but I have manifested the things that I'm going to share with you in the video today through the spirit of transmutation. And before, I didn't know that I was doing it either. But now that I have learned, I am able to manifest a lot faster and a lot abundantly also. So let's go ahead and type in our 1111s, the opening of the spirit realm. You will definitely be blessed by this video if you are struggling to manifest. And let's go ahead and raise it up. Where's my little bell? Let me go and grab it. Ready? Take a beautiful deep breath in. Raise that vibration. Here we go, here we go, here we go. Come on now. Challenge your human. You're just taking a beautiful deep breath in and let it out. Okay, so hit that subscribe button. I'm Necole Anre'V, founder of Spiritual Guidance Academy, where we help you master your spiritual gifts, spiritual guidance, and learn how to hear from the Most High. So, Hermetics, okay, from the Kabbalion. This is a book that I got that I love the hard copy, and I love the binding on it, but I love the old version. This is not it. So, just as a heads up if you plan on getting it. But Hermetic principle and concept is something that I really encourage you to warm up to. And you're going to see a lot more of it on Spiritual Guidance Academy. It's something that I am in love with. And it is attached to quantum physics. And a lot of people aren't familiar with that. But it goes back to ancient Egyptian heritage, culture, tradition, and principle. And we know that ancient Egyptian culture taught us a whole lot about what we know about science today. And in fact, they were the forerunners in astrology, astronomy, and science as we really know it. And so when we talk about the spirit of transmutation, let me just read something here from the Kabbalion. And here it is. I'm not even going to go there. Transmutation is really putting yourself in that state of mind. And when we put ourselves in the state of mind that we wish to manifest, we are absolutely jumping into that energy. Your energy, dense energy, matter, which is energy. And that vision that you have is still energy. It is energy. It is vibrating somewhere. And guess what? Science has already determined that that is the quantum field. So that vision that you keep seeing already exists. And when you look at, we're just using science, okay? This is all science. Electromagnetic energy. That energy already exists. Those frequencies already exist. Neurons, electrons, neutrons, circuits, atoms, all of that exists. And in the quantum field, we have the spirit realm. No, the quantum field has not been figured out 100%. It is theorized. And when we look at that, we also know that energy does exist. We know that to be true. However, when we understand the infinite, abundant, unlimited range of energy, we then understand that anything is possible. That is absolutely where miracles come into being. And so when you are able to transmute yourself into where you want to be, you have manifested it. And honey, you've already done that over and over and over again. And I'll give you very practical ways that you've already transmuted yourself into your manifested desired outcome, so that you don't have to be overwhelmed by what you really want to manifest. You don't have to let the third dimension that people vibrate in to get you bogged down and to project that energy that's so heavy and chaotic onto you, so that you kind of pull yourself further away from your manifested outcome. You don't have to own that as your reality. And so when we do talk about all of this infinite, abundant energy, we've got frequencies. Now, you and I are vibrating on a certain frequency. We're here, right? But also, you might be using your cell phone or some type of device. You are using a device of some kind that is actually sending signals, right? Through the air, through the ethers, right? And so I'm on Wi-Fi. That is a frequency, right? And that is energy. And that is signals. Well, guess what? You are energy. And you are sending signals out to the quantum field. And you are using and you are vibrating right on with electromagnetic energy. And with these frequencies, we understand that they magnify the opposite of each other. Opposites attract. We have the principle of polarity that says that. But we also have the principle of transmutation that says we have the power to actually change energy. Okay? Now here it is. The mind, as well as metals and elements, may be transmuted from state to state, degree to degree, condition to condition, pole to pole, vibration to vibration. True hermetic transmutation is a mental art. Now, we know that this is true because we know that opposites exist in nature. In Spiritual Superstars, science is nature. In Spiritual Superstars, spirituality is nature. And so when you are using the principle of transmutation to manifest that which you so desire, you're using nature. You're using what already exists. It is in your frequency already. It is your ability. It's your power. And so when we look at transmutation on a scientific level, what you'll hear is, turning metal into gold. But what you're also going to see when you break it apart is the fact that we are simply moving energy from one point or one state, one system to another. You're a system. I'm a system. And we are simply transmuting energy between each other. Now, be it we're doing this through a device. But when you think of me and I think of you, we're vibrating on that same frequency. And one of us calls the other. And you end up saying, oh my gosh, Necole, I was just thinking of you. How in the world did you do that? And I'm going to say to you, because we were on the same frequency. We vibrated on the same frequency. And one of us tapped into it and decided to take action. So that's as simple as that. You are able to do that which is manifesting. Okay? One of the other things I want to share with you is just being able to change through the principle of vibration. Okay? Principle of vibration, it's a beautiful phenomenon, but it is simply because we are vibrating on these frequencies and we are pulling in the opposite energy. We are changing energy, and between one point to the other, energy is vibrating, right? And so we know this to be true. And there's a really good example in here. Let me see if I could find it very quickly. Well, can't find it. So let me just share with you. You know how you can play an instrument and you can touch a tone, right? You hit a key, maybe on a piano, And someone else can sing that same tone, can match that tone. That's the principle of vibration, is that here's this one object that is all energy that creates this one tone. And here you come along and you mimic that same tone because you're on the same frequency. Okay? So you're vibrating there. And what does that do? It creates something new. It manifests something. It really is as simple as that. When you use the spirit of transmutation, you are all in. So when you wake up in the morning, okay, when you wake up, whatever your morning is, maybe you're on C shift, you wake up in the evening, whatever your time is, when you wake up, I want you to fall deeply and madly, passionately in love with that which you are manifesting. And here's how you do it. You use the energy that you're already made of and the energy that is around you. And you can't quite see it right here, but we have something called the mind. And the mind exists inside of our brain. And our brain is a part of our human. Remember, you are the soul within your human. You are a dual being. And you're controlling your human. Yes? Because your human has to take that physical action. Yes. But your human has to be directed in what direction and what action to take. And so instead of leaving your home, your room, your abode, wherever it is, and letting society decide and letting the stressors of life and letting people that are naysayers and doubters and dream killers and energy vampires and all of that, the negativity out there, take you away from your dream that you hold right here near and dear to your heart and soul. Fall madly and passionately and deeply in love with that which you are manifesting. When you wake up, take a humongous deep breath in and see it. Fall deeply in love with it. Dive into that outcome. And so much so that you smile. And you don't stop until you smile, because that means, boom, that's a connection that is a metaphysical reaction to what your human is feeling. And you're showing your human through your mind, because your mind controls memory, consciousness, imagination, perception, your intelligence, your thinking, your judgment, and your emotion, your intellectual ability, your instinct or your intuition. All of that is in that deep breath in, and you are seeing that manifested outcome right here, right here. And when your human smiles, that means that your brain got involved, because your brain is scientifically proven to send signals back and forth through the five senses, right? Through your touch, your smell, your hearing, your sight, your taste. All of those five senses are with your human, right? And so your human's got that down, but you've got to give your human something to attach that to. And so the first thing you do when you wake up is you fall deeply and madly and passionately in love with that which you are manifesting, and you don't let it go. You do not do anything else before you do that. You thank God and you wake up in gratitude and you say, thank you, thank you, thank you. And you take that beautiful deep breath in and you think of your first thing. What is it? Write it in the comments section, because the other part of that is we've got to give our humans something to do to manifest it. We've got to take that action and we've got to take it out of our mind, and we've got to use our brain, and we've got to use our human and take action and move towards our manifested outcome. And that way, we are best friends with our human. Our human is learning to trust us again, because in that moment, we are changing our memory. We are actually reprogramming our brain. And that, my love, is manifestation. And so you do this every single time that you wake up, every single time that the stressors get to you, every single time that the burdens fall on your shoulders, every single time that the bills got to be paid, every single time that someone tells you, no, you can't have that vision, every single time that you feel less than, every single time that you feel the world is beating down on you, every single time that you feel like you can't have that, you do it. You fall in love with it in that very moment. Because guess what? Nobody knows what's in your mind. Not one person, nobody, until you explain it to them, until you share it with them. Nobody knows except for God what is in your mind, because you were blessed with that vision. And you were not blessed with that vision to keep it in your mind. You were blessed with that vision to manifest it. And so we call that mental rehearsal. Science calls it mental rehearsal. Physics calls it mental rehearsal. When you constantly, you wake up, you fall in love with that vision. You go to the bathroom, you look in the mirror, you see yourself in that vision. You can taste it. You can hear it. You can touch it. You can smell it. If it's financial freedom, what does that smell like? Does it smell like the best cologne you've ever smelled? Does it smell like the best home cooking? What does it smell like? You know, what does money smell like to you? What does freedom smell like to you? Success, security, stability. You have to know that in order to be in love with it. You know, what does it sound like? Does it sound like a car driving by that is your dream car? Does it sound like the keys to your new home? Does it sound like papers because you're negotiating your next multi-billion-dollar structure? What does it sound like? Clapping because now you have had your art and your work on display. What does it feel like to you? You have to fall in love with that. Is it your true love that you're manifesting? What does that feel like inside of you? In the bathroom, in your home, in your car? Hug yourself. Feel it. Fall in love with that, because that is what you're manifesting. When I fell in love with my ability to have children after doctors told me that I would never have children, they told me I would die. They told me my baby would die. They were wrong. We are able to manifest miracles. And it's very important that we have to stay on that frequency, that miracle already exists in order to bring it to us. It is the opposite of our current circumstances. And so in order to bring the opposite to us, we have to use universal law, and we have to fall in love with that which we have not manifested. It's not tangible yet, but we know that it exists. And so we must feed our human by seeing it, by telling our human exists in our mind. Our mind is real. And so we've got to make sure we nurture it, and we've got to keep it sacred and close to us. And that is how you are manifesting it. And as you do that, you mentally rehearse and you fall deeply in love with it. You're passing that exam. Oh my goodness, you're seeing your pencil on that paper, writing all the right tests or scores and answers and checking off all the right answers. And you can see yourself smiling, and you know that you're about to do great on your exam, and you just feel it inside of you. What does that feel like? Is your heart racing? Okay, what are you going to do afterwards, because you're going to treat yourself to it and you're already anticipating it. You're in expectation mode. What does that sound like? Is it silence in the room? What is it? See yourself driving to the exam. See yourself celebrating after you pass it. See yourself opening up your exam score in the mail. See that celebration. Hear other people celebrating you. You have to fall in love with that manifested outcome. And what happens, dear loves, the more that you do this, you're changing your memory. You are reprogramming your brain. And your human then believes that which has not physically manifested yet, because you are changing your human senses. And your human's 5 senses are now changed to memorize that which you are showing her or him through your mind's eye. And so now that you're living in this physical, what people say 3rd dimension, but dear loves, we know we live in the 4th dimension, because our 4th dimension is where we pull in from our mind. And it's timeless, it's happening, it's fluid, it's in the quantum field, it's where frequencies lie and where they go, and electromagnetic energy bounces back and forth. And you're teaching your human how to manifest. And so the very first thing you do when you wake up is you use that brain wave and you activate it and you create that which you are manifesting. You create it through your mind, and you're teaching your human how to co-create it with spirit and take that action to manifest it. And what happens is you start changing. You start reprogramming and designing an entirely new network, a new system in your life. Your life starts to change. You start to see that, oh my goodness, there's another study guide that came up, an advanced one that you got a hold of, and you can't quite figure out how you got access to that exam, that study guide. And you feel like, oh my gosh, this is exactly what I needed. Oh my gosh, thank God. And then what else happens? Your true love all of a sudden pops up, boom, what seems like out of the blue, but you know that you have been falling in love with that reunion every single day. And then all of a sudden it happens like it did me. I knew that I needed to leave an abusive relationship in my 20s. Didn't quite know how to do it. I just didn't. Everybody wanted me to marry this one man, and I knew that he was abusive. And he would not be the man that I needed to marry, but I was very scared. I was very young, and I didn't want to tell anybody. And as crazy as it may sound, I didn't want to get him hurt. And I knew that at the same time, if I stayed, I wouldn't be alive today. And I thank God that I didn't have children with him. And that's what brought me into communion with the Most High. What do I do? Well, I had asked Spirit, please show me my spiritual guidance the way that I can receive it. If you show me that I need to leave, I'm leaving. I won't take anything with me. I won't turn back. I'll leave. And if you show me that I need to stay, I'll stay. I won't think twice about it. I'll be the best wife ever. I have lots of babies because I know I'm going to be a mama. And I'll be happy. The very next day, actually within hours, because I stayed up that night praying and thanking the Most High, calling out for my spiritual guidance, I found a tape. Watched him and a woman in a hotel doing things they shouldn't have been doing. And that's what I needed to see. My human saw it with her own eyes, and that's what I prayed for. Show me the way that I can receive it. And I received it. And still, I was so shook. Still so shook. Even before that was the drawing point. I moved out, went back home, and I was so shook. It's hard for me to tell anybody. But even before that, maybe a few days before that, I remember I was totally in love with the reunion of my first love. And I remember waking up and falling in love with that reunion. Didn't know where he was at, but I said, a girlfriend of mine said, what would it take you to leave? And I said, well, if I reunite with so-and-so, I'll leave. I'll leave. And I felt, that will never happen. I don't know if it'll happen or not, but I really do hope it does. My human was very skeptical, but my human knew spiritual guidance. And so that's what I asked for. And I remember falling in love with it, transmuting into that possibility of it happening. Within a couple of days, I'm leaving work and heard my name being called, and I knew that name, or I knew that voice. That voice was my first love. And I was so shook, I kept walking to my car, and I heard his door open and close, and I heard him running after me and call me again, and I froze. And I turned slowly around, and there he was, running towards me. The universe will conspire to help you, but you've got to take that action. And so the first thing you want to do is transmute into that desired outcome. It will happen. You must fall in love with it. You must fall deeply and passionately, madly in love with it. And you must not care about what anyone else thinks. It is not their vision. It is yours. And you have that power to make it happen. And so when you want to manifest anything in 2021, do it now. Start pulling that energy to you. Start changing it to come to you, because the universe will help you manifest the opposite, which is that same energy. It is the same energy because you're vibrating on that frequency, but it's the opposite because you have not yet manifested it. So when you pray for, when you fall in love with, and you visualize, you see it, you smell it, you taste it, you hear it, you can touch it, right? You see it, all of your five senses are engaged. So is your sixth sense, right? Your mind's eye, right? Your third eye, all engaged. You are vibrating on that frequency of that which has not manifested. And so when you show that kind of gratitude, you have actually taken that leap of faith, and you are the artist co-creating with spirit. You are co-creating, you are designing your life by your terms. And you are literally taking that big old jump, that leap of faith into your canvas. That is your life. And that is the principle of transmutation. So I pray that this has helped you. Do this every single time you wake up, every single time that you feel the doubt coming in. Fall back in love with it and show your gratitude by wrapping that up with thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much. Until your human smiles and sees your manifested outcome before she or he can actually touch it. She or he will know that it belongs to you. All right, dear loves. Well, don't forget to type in your 4 ones, the opening of the spirit realm. And honey, if there's anything that I can do for you, please let me know. Comment and let me know what topic we need to discuss next, because I'm here for you. Get on over to spiritualguidanceacademy.com. We have some changes going on over there, and I look forward to seeing you very soon. Mwah. Love y'all.